Hello and welcome to our men's and women's Pennant recap for this week, brought to you by Stockdale and Lego. We'd like to thank Sonia Di Pietro from Stockdale Lego for her sponsorship of this wonderful Pennant video. I'm Matt Milne, I'm here again filling in for Mark Hayes, who is still on leave, but you will be lucky, he's back next week, so you won't have to see my ugly face on this video. But I am here with two Pennant high hitters in the club. They're the rising stars of the Pennant team. We've got Louise Blomley in her first season of Pennant, and Julie Milne, aka Mum.
Hi.
So welcome ladies to today's video. We have got a few ladies away on a little golfing sojourn up to Rich River, so we've had to bring the big guns in for this week's analysis of Pennant. So we can obviously see there with Lou, St Kilda, you're up and about.
Absolutely, and look, 150 years the club's been here. We've had one premiership. I celebrate anything.
Yeah, well,
a win is a win is a win.
You've got to take advantage while you can, Lou. And it's a bit like the Pennant this week. It was a whitewash of wins, which was fantastic. So we'll go straight into Division 1 here. I have had some analysis sent through by Jen Edmondson, and they had a great win defeating Lonsdale Lynx 5-2, where they played at Curlewis. The top of the order was fantastic with Alicia, Jen, Gilly, Ange and Meg having comprehensive wins, so that was great for them to have a good solid victory there. We had our Stockdale Player of the Week was awarded to Angela Foote this week. She was playing at number 4. She had a solid 3-1 win over Tana McGann. Meg Pratt did have a big win 5-4, but Angela actually performed quite well. She actually had a dirty weekend away in Adelaide the previous week and came back a little fatigued, but she obviously caught up with some sleep during the week before Pennant, and she's starting to find a little bit of form, which is great leading into the finals.
Can I just say though, Meg's on one leg.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Well, what's happened to her?
Oh, shouldn't I say that? A little bit of tightness around the knee.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ange kicked her. No. She has got an injury, so, you know.
Oh, well, that was
very well.
So she's been in good form. She's had a couple of large wins.
Mm.
So the Division 1 ladies this Friday will venture off to Lonsdale Lynx, and they'll be playing Torquay. Torquay's top of the ladder, undefeated. Port's currently sitting in 4th. I have been through the lineup this week, and I think if we can have Jen Edmondson and Alicia Clark sneak a win up the top there. Port's got a good solid middle order with Jill, Ange and Meg. I reckon there could be a little tightening for Torquay here, and Port could get over the line if they can get...
And word has it was that JB last week really played her bum off. She had a really good game, was really close, and she was just...
Yeah, she went down 1 down, I think it was.
Yeah, she's a bit unlucky, but she'll be right this week.
So we're hoping Jackie Rose, she's been working hard on a game. She hasn't been getting the results, but I reckon this week if she keeps... get some golf under her belt, she might come home with a little win as well down at the bottom of the order.
Yep.
So we'll move into Division 2, which you two ladies are playing in, and you had a fantastic 3.5, 1.5 victory over Barwon Heads, which was played at 13th Beach. This took you girls up to, I think, 2nd on the ladder there, which is good. And I will hand over to Julie, who's got a report on the ladies from Division 2.
Thank you, Maddie. We had... Lou, who played and had 1 up. I have my match. Sue Holland, she had a great win, 6-4. Jill had a win, 4-3.
So that was Jill Peppard?
Jill Peppard. And Lynn Kirby, that was her first loss for the year. She went down 3-1.
So she is human.
Yes, she is.
That's good.
She was disappointed, but the team won, so that was amazing. Well
so
done,
did she lose because she didn't talk as much to her opponent, or and they were able to concentrate? Or
I don't know.
I don't think that would ever happen.
She's 4 groups in front of me, so I didn't hear her. So.
Oh, really? Oh, that's surprising.
No, she was good. Disappointed, but we got away with the win, so that's great.
And what about next week? Who have you got next week?
Next week we're off to Torquay, and we're playing 13th Beach.
That'll be tough.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
And we hit off at 11:15, so we're the last group out.
Oh, very good. So, Lou, you have been flipping between Division 1 and Division 2.
Well, they took
and it's your first season.
It's me. Yeah,
and how did you feel in Division 1 playing?
How did I feel in Division 1?
Did you feel out of your depth, or did you feel comfortable out there?
I felt comfortable because of the teammates around me. They were really encouraging. They're a really good bunch. Don't listen to what anybody else says. They're a nice group of people.
And the Division
courses that
2
we
ladies
play,
aren't?
you step up. Well, no, they're gorgeous.
Oh, are they? Okay.
They're lovely. Yeah. In the game last week that I played, very close. I'm glad I checked where the defib was because my heart was pounding out of my chest as I was coming up the 18th. But look, it's always a delight to play in Div 1. They're a good bunch of guys. And
very
great
good.
courses that you play at.
Good. So, as Julie said there, so they're playing 13th Beach there, who are currently sitting 5th on the ladder with only 1 win and a half. But 13th did have the bye last week and they'll be feeling refreshed for this coming's assignment. Port will need to keep winning to keep in touch with Clifton Springs, who are on top of the ladder. But there was a little upset last week that they only had a half against Queen's Park, which I reckon they would have expected to win that. So they've kept you girls in it.
They were cheesed off.
Yeah.
Were they?
You could see it on their faces.
Bit frustrated.
It was really good to see.
It's good for us, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. No, at least it keeps it nice and close there at the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
So we have a little segment in our video which is Caddies Confessionals. And this is all about the caddies in Division 1, and it's, I don't know, what do you say, it's for poor performance, things that they shouldn't be doing, right? Unusual events.
Yeah.
But this week it's pretty bland. There was no information coming through really at all. So we've actually had to award this to a certain caddy. They went to Bowen Heads 2 weeks ago, and the player that this person caddies for didn't play. They actually just turned up and walked around and supported the girls and was just there being involved. And then this week when they played at Curlewis, he did caddy and the player ended up getting up 2-1, but they've awarded the Caddies Confessionals to GC for his commitment and dedication to Pennant. I'm not sure whether he went to Bowen Heads to let the sea breeze blow through his grey long locks, but anyway, he's been awarded the Caddies Confessionals for round number 4.
Well deserved.
Well done.
Do you girls have caddies in Division 2 or you're not elite enough for that?
No, I'd
Don't need
rather
them.
pull my own bag.
All right, we're working to Division 4 now, and unfortunately our ladies who are in Division 4 are all up on the river at Rich River. I'm not sure a mid-season piss up at Rich River is good for Pennant coming into the pointy end of the season. How would that go in footy terms?
Well, look, it can be good, I think, sometimes.
Build the morale?
Yeah, I think so. And there's some drinkers in that team.
Yeah, well, Jen Edmondson will be in fine form, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But anyway, they had a massive 4.5 half victory over Torquay, which was great. I did receive a report from Joy Francis and Jan Cogger last night from Ridge River. I was expecting it to be sent through as a text, but it was actually written on the back of a beer coaster. And I'm expected to transcribe this, but I'll see how I go. The interpretation of their synopsis, and I will quote, that Joy is a really good player, and so is Jan, but she isn't as good as Joy. Jan saw all of the course on the day. She won one up, while Ange Royal, Joy Francis and Beth Peterson didn't see much of the course. They had finished their matches by the 12th, 13th and 14th holes. Marg Birchall was like Lazarus coming back from 3 down to halve her match. And it sounds like the food was a hit as well. They had 2 points of sandwiches which apparently looked like delicious chicken, but was tuna. So in the synopsis I got, they referenced the tuna sandwiches 14 times, so I don't think it was too good. What did you have for food last week in your Division 2?
Oh, we had
They're
beautiful
beach.
fruit, nice muffins.
They're the best.
Yes.
The worst.
Oh, don't get too political here, Lou.
Sorry, no.
No, we had
Pennant
lovely
Beach
food.
was spectacular.
Ah, very good. Well, it doesn't sound like the tuna sandwiches went too well down there for the Division 4 girls. And actually, while Jan Cogger was still on the course, all the other ladies decided to go and have their lunch and left her by herself. So that was good team morale, wasn't it, from the Division 4 girls? Sorry, just to sidelight, we'll just go back to Division 2. We forgot about Player of the Week there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so Sue Holland for her dominant 6-4 victory
Well done,
over
Sue.
Prue Plowman in Division 2. Sue Holland. We work into Division 4 and we had Player of the Week goes to Beth Peterson.
Yes.
Beth was an emergency and fill-in player on the day. She was a little nervous tackling the Lonsdale Links course, but rose to the occasion and smashed her opponent, Kate Stevenson, 5-4. So she's awarded Player of the Week. Port now sits on top of the ladder, undefeated, half a game clear of Ocean Grove, which is great.
Yep.
This week they'll play Lonsdale Links at Barwon Valley. tough match against Lonsdale, who are third on the ladder, and coming off their last 2 games, which were 5-0 wins over Bowen Valley and Lawn. But those 2 teams were at the bottom of the ladder. So, but Port needs to just keep continuing on, and they'll sort of stay at the top there. And then we'll work into Division 5, which defeated Queen's Park 5-love at Clifton Springs Golf Club. So we touched base last week that we expected they should win based on the performance of their team, and with that one there, it was even though it was 5-0, all 5 matches went to at least the 16th hole, so they were all nice and close. Marilyn Mooney provided a match report from Rich River. I think she said she had a few wines and wasn't sure if it made sense. But the 2 filling players were Yvette Pollock and Fiona Newman. They were both well up in their match and let their opponents back in, but they did rally to end up winning 1 up or 2-1. Maz, Jeanette Johnson and Judy Said were the other winners, and Judy's putter saved the day for her. Putting was difficult, the fairways and lies were difficult, but that's what Clifton Springs like, and you expect that when you go and play that golf course. I think to just show how competitive Pennant is, and you touched on it before the video here, Lou, that one of our ladies was on the 17th green in 2, while her opponent was on for 6 and proceeded to have an 8. And then her opponent proceeded to make her putt out, even though she was on for 2. So I guess Maz must have been putting too well, and she was hoping for her to 7-putt, but Maz was good enough to get up over the line on the 17th there for her, which is great. So Stockdale on their go player of the week this week goes to Jeanette Johnson for the 2nd time in 3 weeks. She had another strong victory and never gave her opponent a chance in it. So
can we shout out a late birthday message?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Happy birthday for the other day.
Happy birthday, Marilyn. When was that?
The other day.
The other day, okay.
Was it the Saturday?
Saturday,
Well, she's celebrating for the whole week.
Oh, okay. It was my birthday the other day too. 12th of March though, but anyway. So this week Division 5 will host, so they won't play this week. Port could potentially lose top spot on the ladder this week, with Ocean Grove playing Clifton Springs, and a win for them will put them sort of up on top of the ladder. Interestingly, Ocean Grove's 3 wins have been 5-love, 5-love and 4-1. Wow. So they're obviously a very strong team. And we will play Ocean Grove the following last week at the Sands, which will probably decide the winner of that section then. So, which is fantastic there from them. So it was a great win. 4 of the ladies teams won there, which was fantastic.
It was a great week. Yeah.
And we don't play finals, do we?
No, I think it's only the Division 1 play final, so it's imperative to finish on top of the ladder at the end of the season. We'll do a quick review of the men's pennant. So Division 2 played at Colac on Sunday and they defeated Anglesey Golf Club 4-3. The youth of the team had some good wins, with Jack Martin, Dean Jeffrey and Simon Goggin all recording big wins, while long-hitting Phil Toyne won 1 up in a tight tussle at number 1. The boys are now on top of the ladder, which is fantastic for them after today's win, and Geelong, who was the favourites, they actually had an upset loss. So next week...
Their football team.
Yes. So next week the boys play 13th Beach at Anglesey. If Port wins that, that'll finish them pretty much on top of the ladder and guarantees them a final spot, because they have the bye last week. So if they want to keep the destiny in their hands, they need to win this week. If they lose, they're going to have to rely on some results in the final round to go their way to make finals. The Division 5 guys, they had the bye, so they didn't play. But this coming Sunday, they will venture to Geelong Golf Club to play St Leonard's. So it's the battle of the cellar dwellers. St Leonard's lost 7-0 here on Sunday, and I'm putting it out there that if the Division 5 guys don't win this week, they should all retire and don't come back to the club. You'll be an embarrassment if you get beat. So Phil Stevens, who apparently has just contracted COVID, he's the team captain. He needs to pump the boys up. So Philby, you need to get the boys up and about.
Perhaps you could go down to St Leonard's for a couple of days before the game.
Oh, so they have to default? That's a good idea, Lou.
Yeah.
So that comes to the end of our video recap for this week for Pennant. Once again, thank you to the lovely Louise and Julie for your contribution today. Thank you to Kaylin for her amazing videoing. And also a big thank you to Sonia Di Pietro and Stockdale Lego for their support of this. As I said, next week, regular host Mark Hayes will be back. He'll be refreshed after his month away, and we'll have a couple of new guests for our weekly Pennant recap. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Bye.